Welcome back. So, I got another point of reflection for you today, and that is how do you do things? What is the precise manner in which you do things? And this is related to managing your own expectations about how you do things. And this reflection came to me today while I was folding up my laundry, and I was just thinking about the journey that I had made from how I used to fold my laundry once upon a time, how I used to look after the ironing and the taking care of the linen and the clothes that we wear, to how I do it today and how it has simplified my life so much. So basically, at my mother's home, we did have a lot of help, which was really fortunate, and we had people who'd look after this. But when I got married and I lived in my in-laws' place for a while, for a few years, and since I was living in their house, I was respecting the house rules that were in that house. So there was a very precise way of doing things, and that was in a very precise manner. That's the certain way the clothes were hung up, in a certain way that they were folded and ironed, and there was a certain routine to it. And eventually, when we shifted over to our own place, I kind of carried away those ways and means of doing things. So eventually, I would be looking after the house and looking after the animals and looking after my job. And it was getting to be a little bit stressful because trying to do everything in that same precise manner and holding the house and the grocery and the laundry and everything together was a little tough. And just think about there was just two of us in the house. So I kept looking for methods, ways, and means of simplifying the workload and the home chores, which kind of fell on my shoulders. And trying and trying, I tried various things. And over a decade ago, almost 15 years ago, I came in contact with some Japanese, and they taught me the Japanese method of instead of folding, they tend to roll the clothes. So I said, yes, it's interesting, but the conditioning of a lifetime where I had seen clothes pressed and folded and kept aside in a certain manner, and especially these few years where I had learned to do it in a certain way, was so strong that even though I found it interesting, I did not apply it until about 3 years ago, roughly, when I decided to really do something about it because it was getting to be a bit heavy. And as you can make out, ironing isn't exactly the most favorite of my chores. So I started with intention and with decision to apply the method of rolling clothes instead of folding them. And even though I've traveled quite a lot, I started putting the rolled clothes into my suitcase as well. And obviously, it makes for much better packing. So, what I was basically trying to work at is that when we eventually do accept new ideas and we do start applying them with intention, with decision, we can find that life changes so much, that life can become so much easier. It's just that we don't do it because we are basing our rules of doing things, the way we do things, on not only other people's expectations of how we should do them, but also our own, because we've kind of adopted them. We've kind of become obsessed with doing them in a certain manner which feels right. And until we've done it in that manner, it doesn't feel right anymore. So that's what I'm trying to tell you today is try and do something different. Let go of other people's expectations. That really doesn't make any difference. But try and let go of your own expectations of how you need to, how you should do things. Because once you do that with intention, with decision, you will find that things change. And the flip side is that not only do you change that one little thing that you start doing, for example, the rolling of the clothes, it made me question other things in life as well, in the kitchen, now that we are talking about the home, about the way I cook, about the way I handle things. Could I not just do them in a little simpler manner? Could I not find another way that was more effective for me? And the effect has been that even though I've been a very low stress, pretty laid back person overall, my stress levels have decreased even more, which is fantastic. I mean, which of you would not like to have less stress in life? So, keeping this in mind, I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do today that is going to be different? intentionally with decision. What is something that has been bothering you or something that is stressing you that you can do differently? And if you don't want to go and tackle something big, why don't you just simply do something really, really simple as parking your car in a different spot? Or a very, very normal example would be getting off the bed on the other side. It's easy to do if you have a single bed. But even then, maybe perhaps just getting off the foot of the bed instead of just rolling onto the side as usual. Or trying to cut your veggies in a different manner, or going to a different supermarket or a different shop to buy your veggies. Or just tweaking your routine a little bit in a different manner so that it puts your brain into a little bit of a tizzy and you have to kind of rewire everything. And that has a lot of repercussions on so many things because it keeps you alive, it keeps you learning, and you might be really surprised at the results. So I'm going to leave you with this. Your life is your own. The rules that you live your life by are the ones you have accepted or made for yourself, and there is nobody who can tell you how to do it. So you are the one who decides, and my challenge to you is to decide to do something differently and see what happens. That's going to make you grow. That's going to create a whole lot of fun and variety in your life. And with this, I'm going to leave you. Thank you and blessings, and I'm going to catch you next time.